like we're back up.
Okay, so I'm going to send you the link to the cutoff calendar. We don't need to pull it up now, but it'll give you an idea of, and I'll send a couple of descriptions for the students on when, you know, what each of those dates mean. But it'll give you an idea of how quickly the process is moving this year.
Right. I forgot it was a short session, and so probably between now and when we meet again, we can get our classes locked in on a bill and email you and kind of let you know what bill we've decided on. That might make things a little bit quicker for us too.
Okay, that'd be great. Just okay. Full disclosure here. I do represent Comcast.
Okay.
So I know that some of the students might be really interested in some of the net neutrality or internet privacy things that are floating around, and I would be conflicted.
Okay.
To work with them on that. I could talk to them about it if they have questions, and I could even bring in, you know, folks that are on the opposite side of the issue that I am if the kids were interested, but I couldn't actually do any lobbying on their behalf.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay. Well, it's good seeing you again.
It's good to see you.
We're super excited. This is like the highlight of our year. So thank you.
Are you going to be Capitol this year?
Yes. We are February 26th, Monday.
February 26th. I'm going to write that down now. So it would be great if as soon as we pick a bill, I will try to get an appointment with the sponsor of the bill so they could come in and talk to you. Last year, we didn't have time. So February 28th?
26th.
26th. Okay.
And it's a Monday.
Okay. Fantastic. I've made a note of it. I'll get it on my calendar as well. That's exciting.
Okay. So I'm going to move from the camera and let you talk to the kids. And then we have a few questions just after watching the lobbyist video. The kids had a couple questions for you.
So should we start with questions? And that might help me kind of build up with.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Did your kids have any questions?
They do, but they're about bills.
Okay. Ben.
So my class should be taking over.
Whoops, sorry. And you can just sit right here. I'm super proud.
Okay. Wait, what? So before you ask your question, I should probably introduce myself to the class, huh? My name is Rhonda Weaver. I'm a lobbyist. I've been a lobbyist in Olympia for about 20 years now. This is my 21st session lobbying in Olympia, and I currently work for Comcast and NBC Universal, and I lobby issues on their behalf at the state. So that's what I do in my day job, and I'm happy to be working with you guys this session. I think it'll be fun.
Okay. Ash.
So Ben, you want to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah. I am Ben. Currently a student here, and I speak for some of us. I got picked out of random. What was the most important law that was changed to Washington community?
And what was the most important law that was changed?
Yeah.
In Washington last year?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a subjective question. You could ask 100 people and they'd give you 100 different answers. I think that there was a lot. I think probably most importantly for you, most importantly was that the legislature finally found a way to fully fund education in this state. So more of the dollars have been appropriated to help in K-12 education to lower classroom sizes and to give more funding to the schools. I think that was probably one of the most important pieces of legislation that finally passed after several years, at least in the past several years. I think it was the most important.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm done.
Good job, Ben.
I love you, Ben.
You're good.
Yes.
Anthony.
Hello,
Hi there. What's your name?
Carly.
Hi, Carly.
My question is, do you need a high school degree to be a lobbyist or a college degree?
Well, there's no rules that say, there's no law that says that you have to have a degree of any kind to be a lobbyist, but certainly most of the organizations that I know of that hire people to lobby for them require at least a 4-year college degree. Many lobbyists have law degrees or master's degrees in public administration, but I have a bachelor's degree. But I know of lobbyists who only have that don't have a full college degree, but that is rare. Most have college diplomas. It's important.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Connor.
Hi, Connor.
I'm Gabe.
What's your name?
Connor.
Who's
My name's Gabe.
Gabe? Okay. Hi, Gabe. What's your questions?
Do you like your job as a lobbyist?
I love my job as a lobbyist. And let me tell you why. Every day is different. My job is about relationships, getting to know people as real people, whether they work in the governor's office or whether they're a senator or a state representative or someone who works on their staff. So it's all about getting to know them as real people, getting to know what matters to them in their legislative district. And then every day I have a different issue that I work on. So if you're someone who doesn't like to have to do the same thing day in and day out, it could be a job for you.
Okay, thank you.
Craig? Craig?
My name's Craig.
Hi, Craig.
So my question is, have you ever personally worked with our governor, Jay Inslee?
I have actually personally worked with Jay Inslee. In fact, when he was Congressman Jay Inslee and worked in Washington, D.C. for a number of years, I did quite a bit of work, working with him on various federal issues. And since he's been the governor, done quite a bit of work. He's really interested right now. His office is really interested in building out broadband networks in rural communities like yours, for example, where you don't have a lot of choices in who you have for your provider, and maybe your speeds aren't as fast as what somebody who lives in Tacoma or Seattle would have. So his office has been really interested in trying to find a way to get more companies like mine to build in more rural areas. So I've done quite a bit of work with him and his office on that issue over the years. And also, I've done a lot of work with veterans issues with his office, and what companies need to do to how we could do better with hiring people who have served in our armed forces.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, my name's Isaac, and I was wondering, how many laws have you helped pass since you have been a corporate lobbyist?
You know what? That's a surprising question. Passing a law is really hard, so it's not as many as you would think. I've probably worked on 25 to 30 pieces of legislation that actually made it to the governor's desk and he signed it. Usually passing a piece of legislation takes a number of years. It's hard to get something through the very first time that legislators hear about it. It usually takes a year or two of coming back and continuing to talk to them and get them on your side. to vote for a bill. So I would say about 20 to 25 over the years. I work on far more than that. I mean, I think right now I'm tracking 32 bills just for this year and adding more to it every day. So I work on a lot more, but just bills that I have worked on for my company to benefit my company, not more than 20 to 25.
Thank you.
Okay. My name is Juan, and I have a question that have you ever had help pass a bill that has taken a long time to become a law?
Yes. It's boring, but I've been working on a bill that would help my company and companies like mine access the right of way, which is, like utility poles and that sort of thing. I've been working on that since 2007, and I still haven't gotten it through, which might tell you that I'm not a very good lobbyist, but that's not true. It's just a boring issue, and no one wants to talk about it. The McClary bill, the education funding bill that I talked about, I think that took 8 years to get through the process. So things take a long time. You have to be patient if you have this kind of a job.
Okay. Hi, my name is Miguel. Miguel. How are you able to compromise with both Democrats and Republicans?
Oh, that's really important. I think you have to, again, it's about the relationship. So I try really hard to not look at, to not focus on whether someone's a Democrat or a Republican, but I try to get them to focus on what a good issue is. And getting legislation passed is really all about compromise, because you have to be willing to listen to people who have concerns that differ from yours and try to find a way to accommodate them. So I don't find it hard at all to work with both Democrats and Republicans, and I think that they work together a lot better than what you would imagine.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Zach.
Hi there.
I was wondering, what is the funnest? Is it fun being a lobbyist? If so, what is the funnest thing about your job?
It's a lot of fun. First of all, I get to work with a whole bunch of different people that all represent a bunch of different types of companies or interests. So the people that I get to hang out with every day is a lot of fun. It's actually a lot like being on a break. A lot of what I do is a lot like when you're between classes and you're wandering your hallways and you're seeing people that aren't in your class that you're friends with. So there's a lot of that, a lot of hanging around, waiting for a meeting with someone. That's a lot of fun, and you actually get a lot of work done. So yeah, it's fun, and if you're interested in politics, you're interested in seeing how the system changes over time. It's a fun job, I think, anyway.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have a question? Anyone from Mrs. Lester? Hi there. Hey, they're just a little shy, but they'll warm up.
They'll get there.
So
what
they'll get there.
What kind of things are they interested in following? Have you talked about it yet?
Yeah, let me get our list that we've been looking at.
Okay.
was House Bill 1174, which would make firearms safety and hunter's education an elective class at the high school.
Oh, okay. 1174.
Bill 1174.
Okay.
Another one was Senate Bill 6065. And that has to do with policies and procedures on student interviews and interrogations at school.
Oh.
And we looked at the bill, and if you're under 12, it looks like the school would have to contact parents. 12 and I don't know what year, 18 or 19, if they were still a student at high school, that they would have to make a reasonable attempt to let their kid was getting interviewed or interrogated by the school administration. Senate Bill 6003 concerning breakfast after the bell program. So if a bus got here late or if a kid got to school late, they could still have breakfast.
Okay.
Anybody else research a bill that you guys were interested in? Do you remember the topic? Or? Okay, which one was it?
2312.
2312. Was it House Bill?
Yeah, that's a House bill.
Okay, 2312.
Okay.
What was it?
Providing
Internet. So we might,
Oh, actually,
depending on what the bill is.
I could actually work on that one. I wouldn't have a conflict there. I mean, I let me check on that one. I want to make sure I wouldn't have a conflict, but I don't think I would. I will tell you that that's a really interesting bill, and I don't think it'll get traction this session because it takes $300 million out of the rainy day fund.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and so I don't. It is scheduled for a hearing next week. So let me poke around. I'll poke around on all of these and find out which ones have hearings, and I'll email you about that if that's okay.
Sure. There was one more, and it was House Bill 2386.
23.
And it's providing room and board for certain college-bound scholarship students, because it looks like the college-bound scholarship applies for tuition, but not for room and board. My concern with that one was, if we're trying to fund public school, where would we get the money to also provide room and board?
Right.
So that was one of my concerns, but the kids like the bill, and some of my kids thought it was a good bill.
Yeah, that bill is also scheduled for hearing next week, January 17th at 1:30.
The other one was House Bill 2311. And that was reducing barriers to student participation in extracurricular activities. And it looked like couldn't come up with South Kitsap High School to play golf at $75. $75. Card, which is $65. So it looks like that bill is making it so for a kid to be able to participate in an after-school program, sports or clubs, that those roadblocks wouldn't be in their way anymore. And that seemed like a bill that would be promoting equality. One thing that we have not looked at is to see if there's, it's always nice to get a bill that has some legs that will move, that is sponsored by both a Republican and a Democrat. We haven't gotten that far to look.
Well, this bill, let me look at it here. This bill is 2311, had a hearing this morning, and it is scheduled for executive session next week on the 18th. So, I mean, I've looked at all of them, as you've said. I mean, this is the only one I've seen so far that's scheduled for executive session already. So that's good. And it is also sponsored by both Democrats and Republicans.
Okay.
So that might be that might be a good one for us to seriously look at. But I want to look at all of these as well.
Okay. Okay.
Poke around a little.
Okay. And I can email you the list I have in my hand too, Rhonda.
Okay, that'd be great, because at least the ones I've looked at so far seem to all be moving along. They've all at least been scheduled for hearing, which is good news, because some
Okay,
bills
good.
never get that far.
And see any that we might be interested in are, we're kind of just researching, so we would be open to any suggestions as well.
Okay. Okay. So
No,
I'm sorry. I can't. Let me see here.
it's okay.
Okay. Nope. I hear you now. Okay.
We probably have more time to research these right now than you do, but if you get a chance, we're open to suggestions
Well,
as well.
I go through the list every day. So that's part of my job. So I have been jotting
Okay.
down a few that I thought might be a good idea. And breakfast after the bell that I had on my list. So, and so was this barriers to participating in extracurricular activities. So we're thinking along the same lines. So let me see.
Right.
I'll go talk to staff on some of these committees and find out which ones they think are going to have been marked as priority. That'll help, because it'd be great if we could get one to the governor again this year.
Right, because I was telling, do you want to tell the kids about the bill last year with the AP exam scores and what happened?
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Okay.
So I can't remember the bill number because my head is mushy. I've been looking at too many bills in the last day or two. But last year, the class tracked a bill that looked at college credits for testing for testing on AP classes, and that's the bill they signed. We were able to track the bill through both the House and the Senate. The students made lots of phone calls and sent lots of emails to legislators on the committee asking for their support. That bill was one of the rare ones that made it through during regular session to the governor, and he signed the bill. Unfortunately, we tried to get the class to be able to come to the bill signing, and we couldn't get the governor's office to move it on a day where they could be there. But that bill is now law, and the class did a lot of really good work on that. It was a lot of fun. So I hope we can find one that can make it through the whole system, or we could maybe find one that you don't like and see if we could kill the bill. That's sort of fun too. So, but watching it go through the process would be really good for you guys, I think. We have a few minutes, so if there's, I'm going to give you some homework, and then if you think of any other questions, you could come up and ask them while we do that. So you're familiar with the Washington Legislative website. I would like you to, maybe if you could divide up in teams so that you wouldn't have to do it every day, but if you could divide up into 5 teams and look at what we call the introduction list every day. So if you go to the, I'll send links to your teachers, but if you go to the link that says bill information, there's a link to what they call House intros and Senate intros. You look at the most current one every day. So you don't have to do it once a week if you divide up into 5 teams. So whatever team is your day, you look at the intro and see if there's anything on that list that you think might be a problem or that you're interested in or that you might want to have questions about for our next check-in. That's something that a lobbyist does every day. So you should do that throughout this program. The other thing that I'd like you to do, I'm going to send you a bill analysis that staff for the various committees write on each one of these bills that we've talked about, and maybe you could do that in teams too, where each team takes a bill analysis and reads it and get familiar with it. And I'd like you to come up with teams with your position on the bill, whether you're for or against it. And I'd like you to have a couple questions about the bill based on the analysis. So I think that'd be good homework for this to start with. Do you have any questions about that?
Thank you, and we appreciate you working with us.
All right. My name's Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
I was just gonna say thank you, and we appreciate you working with us through this.
You're welcome. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Get feedback. So
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Bye.
We